If your Facebook feed looks anything like mine has for the last 24 hours, you've probably seen like 40 million posts about the grand victory and, hashtag defund Planned Parenthood. And, just this big pro-life victory that's being celebrated. I mean, you'd almost have to shut yourself off from the entire world not to see it. The pro-lifers are talking about it. The pro-choicers are talking about it. Liberal media is talking about it. Fox News is talking about it. Breitbart is talking about it. It's everywhere you look. The bill HR 3134 has been passed and has been approved, and Planned Parenthood has been defunded. Yay! But not so much. I mean, on the very cover of it all, it's like, hey, I'm really glad to hear that, Planned Parenthood's not going to get any of my tax money. They don't deserve it, and it's bad for our government to give them money. But, as a good citizen and as a Christian, I have to look at things a little bit deeper. And so what I did was I went and very easily on Congress's website, they have HR 3134. You can go and you can Google it or whatever. You can pull it up. And I read it, and it's, to provide for a moratorium on federal funding to Planned Parenthood Federation of America Incorporated. In the Senate of the United States, yada, yada, yada. This act may be cited as the Defund Planned Parenthood Act of 2015. I mean, what a great pro-life name for that, real powerful, all that good stuff. Section 2 of the act, though, is called Findings, and it says Congress finds the following. And this is where things get a little bit weird. They say state and county health departments, community health centers, hospitals, physicians' offices, and other entities currently provide and will continue to provide health services to women. And this is something that people have said for a long time. Defunding Planned Parenthood isn't going to take away women's health. There's all these places that do it. In fact, a lot of these places, part 2 of the findings says many such entities provide services to all persons regardless of the person's ability to pay, and provide services in medically underserved areas and to medically underserved populations. And so, it's recognizing that there's all these organizations and groups and clinics and all these things out there that'll do the work that Planned Parenthood claims they're going to do it for the same price that Planned Parenthood claims that it does it. But, catch this. Such health services include relevant diagnostic, laboratory, and radiology services, child care, prenatal and postpartum care, immunization, family planning services, including contraception, cervical and breast cancer screenings and referrals, and sexually transmitted disease testing. Did anybody else catch the family planning services including contraception? Now, we can get into the reality that the vast majority of contraceptions on the market actually act as a very early term abortion. We can get into the fact that it's a sinful, wicked thing that shouldn't be supported and that shouldn't be done. We can get into all of those. But, hey, let's say we ignore that for a minute. So that brings us to Section 3, the moratorium on federal funding to Planned Parenthood Federation of America Incorporated. Part A says, for the 1-year period beginning on the date of the enactment of this act, subject to subsection B, no funds authorized or appropriated by federal law may be made available for any purpose to Planned Parenthood Federation of America Incorporated. Yada, yada, yada. It's a bunch of legal jargon, but here's the reality of what it says. As long as Planned Parenthood performs abortion, they can't get taxpayer money. Cool, right? Except for 2 problems. First, for the 1-year period, Planned Parenthood hasn't been defunded. They're taking a break. 1 year without federal funds for a multi-billion-dollar-a-year company? You really think that 1 year without federal funds is going to hurt Cecil Richards' pocket? She could pay for that 1 year out of pocket, probably, just based off the money that she makes on her salary. All right, and so let's say maybe I'm exaggerating, and sure, it's going to cost them a lot of money, but they can make it up. They'll easily make it up. There's a woman on Facebook who is challenging people to give $1 every time a pro-lifer says something or whatever. There's billions of dollars just being given away by charitable people to Planned Parenthood. Not only that, but it says in here, will not provide unless such entities certify that Planned Parenthood Federation of America affiliates and clinics will not perform abortions. Okay, so it's like, yeah, but if you guys stop doing abortions, then it's okay, we'll give you money back. Planned Parenthood stopping doing abortions doesn't fix Planned Parenthood. Okay, let's be clear and repeat that. Planned Parenthood stopping abortions does not fix Planned Parenthood. All right, if somebody was to come and run in our current election and, they pop up and they're like, we're actually running under the Nazi Party, I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm not going to vote for you. And they'd say, well, wait, we don't believe in killing Jews. That was a bad part of Hitler's Nazi Germany. We're not going to kill off blacks and homosexuals and gypsies and all these people. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take over the world. We just believe in some of the other things that the Nazi Party believed in, but we're cutting the really bad, ugly parts out. Well, the Nazi Party is still very flawed at its very core, first and foremost on its foundation of murdering human beings. Planned Parenthood, likewise, is evil to its core, based on its foundation of murdering human beings. Planned Parenthood doesn't just provide abortions as one of their services, it's the very core essence of who they are. It's absolutely who they are. Planned Parenthood doesn't just provide abortions, they endorse abortions. They support women murdering children across the globe. They campaign for women to be able to murder children. Everything that Planned Parenthood has ever done in the public eye has to do with what? Murdering children. So if Planned Parenthood says, hey, for the next year, we're not going to murder children so we can get your tax dollars, that's not fixing the fact that this is an organization whose very basis, from the very beginning, we read Margaret Sanger's work, we look at the quotes that she had to say, from the very foundation of the Birth Control League to the Planned Parenthood Federation of America and to whatever other affiliate names they use, the core belief has been murdering human beings. So I don't care if they stop performing abortions. It's not about them no longer performing abortions. It's about them as an organization gone, no more, done, completely out of here. Everybody goes and finds new jobs at new organizations or new companies or whatever that don't have to do with murdering children. Cecil Richards goes to prison for 85,000 life terms for having her hand in billions of murders. So we can say, yeah, unless they stop performing abortions, but the reality is that we need to say, no, Planned Parenthood needs to be gone. But then we look, and right at the beginning, what did I say? Subject to subsection B. Well, what is subsection B? Subsection B says exceptions. Now, I'm in the middle of reading a fantastic book written by a personal friend of mine called I Am the Exception, and anybody who's read it is probably going to have their blood boil as soon as they hear this. Because the pro-lifers, these big heroes of the pro-life movement trying to save babies, the Roman Catholic gods and goddesses and future saints, wrote this document that says Planned Parenthood is allowed to have abortions under subsection B, exceptions, if the pregnancy is the result of an act of rape or incest, or in the case where a woman suffers from a physical disorder, physical illness, or physical injury that would, as certified by a physician, place the woman in danger of death unless an abortion is performed, including a life-endangering physical condition caused by or arising from the pregnancy itself. So once again, all these pro-lifers that are out there celebrating, they're either completely ignorant and haven't read anything, which, hey, history shows it could be the case, or what we really know is true is that they're still standing by their old guns and that they're putting out false convictions for the rest of the world to see. Because the steel ball effect of abolitionists saying, we won't murder rape conceived children, period. And they get up and they say, oh no, we don't believe in rape conceived exceptions. We don't believe in the rape exceptions. All rape babies should be saved. But right here in a law that pro-lifers wrote, exception, if the pregnancy is the result of an act of rape or incest. This simple fact alone makes me want to vomit all over this bill and then send a photographed copy of that back to every single person who had their hand in writing it. This is disgusting. This is wicked. God hates this document that says it's okay for Planned Parenthood to use my tax dollars as long as the baby is innocent in the rape of their father, or in the rape their father commit. This act says it's okay to kill innocent human beings made in the image of God. It's okay, it's good, we will help you pay for it. This is a sickness, and it's a disgrace to anybody who has ever claimed the name pro-life, anybody who has ever claimed the name anti-abortion, any of these liars who call themselves abolitionists and say we're the abortion abolitionists, except if your mother was raped, then you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and we're gonna make it legal and we're gonna help pay for it. This is not a victory for God. This is not a victory for the unborn. This is not a victory for the abolition of human abortion. This is not a victory for the church. This is a victory for the devil himself, the founder of the pro-life movement, the leader of the pro-life movement, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, call him what you wish. The devil, the enemy of God, wrote this article through the hands of men and women who hate their neighbor, who hate the unborn child, and who want nothing more than to profit off of innocent, rape-conceived children being murdered. Because don't fool yourself, friends. If you sent money to these organizations, you paid their paycheck. And they're never, ever, ever, ever going to fight for the end of abortion as long as you keep paying their paycheck. Because you, those good pro-lifers out there who really do want abortion to end and are just ignorantly following what your wolf in sheep's clothing pastor tells you to do, you think you're doing a good job by putting money in the bucket to go help the pro-life whatever group of America? Students for Life, Rock for Life, Choices for Life, whoever these people are, you think that just throwing some money in there because your pastor said you're doing a good deed? Well, listen to these words one last time, because this is what you're paying for, and God says He hates it. Exception, if the pregnancy is the result of an act of rape or incest. It's okay to murder a child made in the image of God as long as they were created in the commission of a sin. This is what you have supported. Repent and run as far from you can. If you are part of a group, if you support a group that has been cheering and calling victory for this, run as far as you can. The days for nice words are over. They have lied to you. For years now, 3 years, that abolitionists have been out saying no rape-conceived babies should be murdered. That rape-conceived children are made in the image of God, and these pro-lifers have gotten up and said, we've always agreed. We've never agreed with rape exceptions. Oh, we might have put that on a document once, but we were so wrong, and we don't believe that anymore. If they put up a little sign saying there's a victory today, they're liars and deceivers from the devil. If they told you to vote to get this disgusting bill put into play, then they're liars and deceivers and murderers at heart. because they desire to see rape-conceived children made in the image of your God murdered, and they're even willing to pay for it.